Hello, I'm Meurig Bowen, director of the Cheltenham Music Festival, and this is the first of a series of short audio guides, mini pre-concert talks on the net, if you like, which focus on pieces of music that I'm particularly excited about being able to present in this year's festival. And because these pieces are a little bit off the beaten track, I really want you to hear for yourselves in advance why it's really worth buying tickets for the concerts in question. The piece I'm talking about here is an extraordinary orchestral suite by Cheltenham's own musical son, Gustav Holst. And it's not his Planet Suite, which emerged a few years later during the Great War. It's Holst's musical impressions of North Africa. Back in 1908, Holst was in a pretty bad way. The first year of his teaching post at St Paul's Girls' School in London had left him exhausted. He had asthma, and he was depressed at the failure of his grand opera, Sita, to win a big international prize he had entered it for. His doctor advised him to take a long holiday. We would call it stress leave now. Holst wasn't particularly cashed up, but his great friend, the more patrician composer Ralph Vaughan Williams, was, and he very generously gave him £50, that's probably thousands of pounds now, and told him to go and sit in the sun for a while. Others would have gone to the south of France, Spain or Italy, but Gustav von Holst, as he was called then, this rather ordinary-looking, owly, bespectacled man, took himself off to French-controlled Algeria, of all places. He travelled extensively through the Sahara on a camel, and being the great hiker that he was, he explored Berber villages in the mountains. Whatever else his senses encountered on that extended holiday, the food, the drink, the smells of the chaotically colourful Arabic souks, Holst clearly heard some amazing music there. We know that because, like the experienced folk song collector he was, he wrote the tunes down in a notebook. And on his return to London, he fashioned them into a three-piece suite of exotic orchestral studies, lasting about 15 minutes in all. This is a later passage in the first dance. The third part, called In the Street of the Ouled Nails, is the most remarkable of Beni Mora's three movements. When in the Ouled Nails mountains region of Algeria, Holst had been entranced hearing an Arab man playing the same short tune over and over again on a bamboo flute for 2 hours. Holst takes this tune and feeds it through his entire movement. Here's the raw material on the flute early on. And around this insistent, obsessively repeating flute motif, Holst works all sorts of other melodic fragments around it with great skill. It's rather like what Ravel does in his Bolero, but 20 years earlier. Beni Mora is confident, colourfully orchestrated music, and although there's clearly the influence of Holst's early hero Wagner, as well as the exoticism of pieces like Rimsky-Korsakov's Scheherazade, I think the relative obscurity up till now of Beni Mora is unjustified. Such neglect often implies that it's an apprentice piece, that the composer's own voice isn't yet fully formed. Beni Mora may not be as utterly amazing as The Planets is from start to finish, but especially in the third movement, it has a haunting quality and spirit of musical adventure that is, I think, really remarkable. I really hope this whets your appetite for our performance of Holst's Beni Mora suite on Friday the 6th of July. It's performed here by Singapore's 100-strong Orchestra of the Music Makers, making their European debut in Cheltenham that night. And the concert also includes Delius's tone poem Paris, Debussy's seascape La Mer, and Ravel's piano concerto with Melvin Tan. Here's some more, to finish, of Holst's Ouled Nails movement, an exotic climax to a remarkable piece of writing.